I'm back again in the studio. Kimberly Nelson has brought an army of personnel here, so let's see who is with us today. Hi, Kimberly. Good morning.
Good morning, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing just great, thank you.
Thanks for having us. But
It's my pleasure.
before I introduce my guests, I want to do a few announcements.
Okay.
Is that okay?
It's up to you, my dear.
Okay. So the first announcement is in December, the residents received in their cubbies a yellow piece of paper from our office that had their year-end charitable giving summary. Now that is sort of we do a letter of thanks that you can use for taxes immediately after you make a gift. But this is just sort of a year-end summary so that it can help residents make sure you've collected all your forms you might need for taxes and you have what you need. So if for some reason you've misplaced that, because now everyone is starting to look for taxes and things, if it is misplaced now or in the future, just call our office, give us a couple days, and we can get you another one. And if for some reason the information on it is incorrect, then please call our office so that we can double check. Sometimes what we have found when there's a husband and wife, sometimes the computer connects the both of them and we have them both on one page, and sometimes the computer for whatever reason doesn't, and it's just a little glitch now and then. So we just like to say, if something doesn't look correct, to please contact our office and we'll do our best to get it corrected and fixed.
I want to contact you. What phone number would I use?
So the main number for the office, which is where Molly sits, is the 703-923-3142.
3142. That's the important thing.
That's the direct line to Molly. And then her line and my line, they both ring, so we can both pick up the phone.
Okay.
So that's the name to the office. The second thing I wanted to mention, because I have three things before my guests. The second thing is the fitness center is doing a little survey. And at least I did my nails so they look pretty if you zoom in. They did one a few years back, and what the wellness team has decided to do is they've put this in cubbies of residents who are sort of what I call the regular fitness goers.
Yeah.
We didn't put it in all the cubbies because we want to be really conscientious to Mother Earth and all the paper. However, at the fitness center, there are extra copies. And at the front desk near your cubby mailboxes, there's about 10 or 12 extra ones. Just in case you misplace one, or if you're not a regular fitness user, but you would like to give some input into things at the fitness center or the health club or the pool. And this is really good information that we would like to gather, because we want to know, as we look at repositioning and the future where we're going to be expanding those services, you need to plan ahead. If we're going to maybe increase classes, change the time for the pool, you know, when you have contracts and lifeguards, things don't just change overnight. So it takes a bit of planning and budgeting. So we would like to get some really good feedback from residents of what do you like that we're doing, and what are we missing? What might be something new or innovative or different or more of that we should look in the future. So
you sit down with Brad and Juanita and the rest of them. Who's all on the looks at that survey and compiles the data?
Yep, so the wellness and fitness team will compile the data and get a summary, and they'll not only share it with me, but they'll also share it with the Resident Life Council Committee, so that we can all get some good information.
I know our time is limited, so we can't really drill on that.
Yeah, and Brad will be on TV, I think, tomorrow or later this week, so ask him more details.
Okay.
And then finally, the last thing is on Tuesday, January 24th, there is an estate planning question and answer, sort of bring in the new year, estate planning question and answer with John Ritzert, who is one of the attorneys and firms that partner with us with the gala. very good questions. He'll do a 10-minute overview, and then residents can sort of open the floor to questions. So if you have any questions about, I just moved the area, when should I update my will or trust, please come. It's free, just RSVP so we know how many seats.
John Richter, lawyer, is going to be the main event. Where is it going to be held? When is it going to be held? And time?
So it's Tuesday, January 24th. It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's in the Village Square Accotink Room.
Accotink Room.
Yes, sir.
And again, they can call you if they don't get the information today. They give you a call and say, Kimberly, give me an update.
Of course.
Or Molly.
Of course. Now for the main event.
All right.
The main attraction, which is really these two fabulous guests that I have brought on with us today. So I have Alice Chesno and Mary Lynn Brom, who are our co-chairs of the Treasure Chest.
Alice and Mary Lynn.
And they're sisters, and we're not going to say who's the oldest.
How nice. Well, they're both young.
They're both young and young at heart. Before I turn, some things over to them, I just really want to take a minute to thank them because, we have had, it's been 2 years?
Almost 2.5.
Almost 2.5. And they have really done a great job with a team of volunteers to have some really, the last 2 very strong years of selling and giving through the Treasure Chest.
Well, we can take more than a minute to tell.
And I'm going to let them talk a little bit about the success of the year before we talk about what's going on in the next year.
Alice and Mary Lynn, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I have heard really good information and comments about the Treasure Chest. The major buyer is who?
We have a lot of people come. We service not only the residents, but also the staff and also the community. So we include everybody and anybody. So we hope that by reaching out this way, we're making a difference in each of their lives.
Before I go further in the Treasure Chest, I want to comment on the amount of money that the Treasure Chest donates. Mary Lynn, how do you and your sister, determine how much to give to the Scholar Fund, for instance, or wherever you do give your money?
We have a leadership team, and the leadership team determines the percentage of how much goes to the Benevolent Fund, the Scholarship Fund, and the Staff Appreciation Fund. And it's not decided by just us two, but by the team.
And then we have 5% left over, and that 5% then can be voted according to maybe suggestions that would come in from the residents or by word of mouth, but that we consider then other charities for that 5%.
Alice, I never knew this before. Can we expound on that? What charities would we be supporting with the extra 5%?
So far, the one that has been voted in the 2 years that we've been aboard here has been the fire department. And so we have given to them each year. And other things have been suggested, but as I said, it's voted on, or I guess Marilyn said, has been voted on by the leadership group, and the fire department is the one that has passed.
Could you give us an idea of what the fire department does with the money, Mary Lynn?
No.
Do they buy a new stove?
I think
or
Kimberly
something?
has a word on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so the fire department does have a need list of different things that they're looking for.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and so sometimes Green Spring, as a community, not the treasure chest directly, have done things such as we've purchased exercise equipment for the station, or a new stove, or a new couch. So Green Spring community has done that. So the treasure chest donation is considered an undesignated donation. In other words, they can combine that with other gifts they may receive to purchase a larger item. And what's really fabulous with Treasure Chest is at some communities, the Treasure Chest really only supports the Benevolent Care Fund. And that is really important. But here at Green Spring, the Treasure Chest team has realized that there are really some great causes that need support. So 60% of every dollar raised goes to the Benevolent Care Fund. 20% goes to the Staff Appreciation Fund. 15% goes to the Scholarship Fund. So those three funds encompass 95% of all dollars coming in. And then that extra 5% is where Alice and Marilyn reference, where we do a little bit to the fire station and then they keep a little bit sort of in the kitty for the next year. So, and you didn't tell us how much we raised this year.
Oh, we are so proud. For the second year in a row, we have raised $80,000.
Oh, my Lord.
Isn't that
And
wonderful?
this year we just went over our 80,000, but we're saying that that has been our goal. And when I say our goal, what I'm saying is we kind of set the goal, and we depended on donations. We depended on our volunteers and the whole group to make this happen.
Over $80,000.
Isn't that great? Yay!
And yay for the 150 volunteers, and yay
You
for
have
all
that many
the donations.
volunteers?
Yes. They have 150.
Now, when we include these, remember that we will include everybody that volunteers. Some people only volunteer maybe a couple hours a month. Others, maybe a couple hours every day. We also have some that might have mobility issues. And for example, we find a place for them too.
Sure you do.
But we are equal volunteer organization.
If you want to volunteer, they're going to find work for you to do.
Alice and Marilyn, I see some of your volunteers are sitting out here dedicated every Monday morning from 9 to 11 o'clock.
That's
And
right.
let's mention that in a nutshell. We do have volunteers who will accept your donations, be it clothes or furniture. We talked on furniture. It's Marge Crape is in charge of that.
Marge Anderson and
Marge.
Joan Wemsley.
Yes, and the thing is, on Monday between 9 and 11, they accept things that will fit in a grocery cart. If it doesn't fit in a grocery cart, it would have to be brought down to the treasure chest. Or if it is furniture, Marge Anderson is called. Then she would go to the apartment and put a little tag on the pieces of furniture that would come down to the treasure chest. And these come down on Wednesday, no charge to the resident, and then put for sale on Friday.
Oh, very quickly, I know you covered this, but let's say I have a huge buffet that I want to donate. Will somebody from General Services come down with a dolly and take it away, or am I responsible to get it over to you?
No, Marge Anderson will be contacted, and she has her little appointment book.
Okay.
Would make an appointment to come up to the apartment, and then she would assess. Now, I want to say one thing though. When you say large, we cannot always accept very, very large furniture because we just don't have the space. However, every chance I get, I tell somebody we need more space. So sometime we're hoping that that will happen.
Well, I know the front office, Chandra and Brian, are aware of your need.
You are so right.
Unfortunately, I don't see any areas large enough available right now.
And, you know, that is something that we're always looking and reevaluating as, you know, things shift and as we do different repositioning and things change. So while we don't have any magic wand today, we don't know over time where some things may shift and change. So we're always looking to be creative. But before we run out of time, I know you also have another announcement to make, because Mary Lynn and Alice have almost hit like the Lifetime
Achievement
Award for volunteering just in Treasure Chest. So they have been really exceptionally busy, and they've been really very dedicated to Treasure Chest. But I believe you're wanting to dedicate your time in some additional expanding ways. So can you tell us a little bit more?
Well, in a sense, you might say the second part is a story of love. And it's also kind of like a State of the Union address too. And when we talk about the love of the treasure chest, it has been for these 2.5 years. We took over just after the remodeling job and had a grand reopening with food. And from that point forward, we have tried to go forward and try to make a few changes as far as the actual room, make a few changes as far as our displays, our, you might say, our tent and things. And, excuse me, and we hope we've made a difference. However, as this 4,000 hour comes upon us, that's our lifetime achievement. And we're giving one lifetime to the treasure chest. But that doesn't mean that we won't be worker bees down there. We would like to find maybe a person, maybe a couple, maybe a couple of friends who might want to have the same opportunity that we started 2.5 years ago and take over as the chairs for the treasure chest. And with this in mind, we'll stay aboard. We will help them as well as those 150. And we think that they will really do good, feel good. That's our motto.
And with that, I'm going to sadly say that our time is up.
Well,
I do want to leave with one smile.
yes.
You all raised over $80,000. That is outstanding.
Yes. And I would say, as Mary Lynn and Alice are looking to step down from their role in the near future, if residents have questions or are interested, please come talk with them. Please come talk with me. There really is a great team behind
Good point,
them.
Kimberly.
And it's not, you don't have to do 4,000 hours in 2.5 years if you don't want to, because we can spread the love.
Sure.
So we thank you, and we appreciate you continuing. But we also appreciate you being willing to pass the baton and share it with others. So anyway, so thank you.
Alice,
Thank you for having us.
Mary Lynn,
Thank you.
thank you ever so much for gracing our studio with this wonderful information that you passed on to us.
Thank you.
And now, I thank you again. I have some announcements that I'm going to make.